Hello, my name is Daniel Hanser Kim, and I'm studying borders and the responses to borders, titled On the World That Walls Itself. So, I'm from South Korea, a divided nation, and I moved around a lot. I lived in 4 different countries. As Korea had conscription, I volunteered and served with the 6th Infantry Division Reconnaissance Battalion, which patrols the Korean DMZ. Primarily in curiosity, will I ever see the border that severs the Korean peninsula before I die? So I volunteered. Such curiosity continues to today. I started my service on November 2nd, 2020, and terminated my service on May 2nd, 2022. Total duration of 18 months. Such curiosity extends to the role. The world has been turbulent, and they have 2 people, and that's the diptych that I want to create, and capture the chain of change and reaction of borders. The reactors built, they erect, they fortify, they make impermeable, they're unnatural and they're absurd. The transgressors are the one that liquefies. They demolish, they tear down, they let the guard down, they make permeable, they're natural, and they're rational in response. To this I pitched my thesis statement. For as long as we have known, humanity has drawn lines amongst ourselves, even dissolved in child games like hopscotch. We interacted amongst ourselves, and we started to divide ourselves. We formed nuances, perspectives, and ideologies. Over undulating terrain, natural resources, water, and control, have we fought with one another. In that relentless chain of events, unbreakable relations of violence and power formed, which affects us to this day. From such birth borders, an artifact that manifests the layer of history, geography, philosophy, culture, religion, and geopolitics. They're manifestations of our understanding of the world to one another, constantly evolving. Through speculative design scenario, where one company fortifies divisions and another facilitates transgression, the project reveals the essence of border evolution. By placing borders in speculation, I propose a scenario of perpetual reaction, challenging conventional narratives and imagining alternative futures shaped by opposing forces. Argue that borders are ever evolving normalized absurdity. To support my argument, I ask, where are the borders? Who amongst us is affected? Why are there borders? When? How do we respond to the divisions created by borders? What can I propose in reflection? I aim to answer my questions with the following methods. I want to see borders as a product of perpetual reaction of nations. They're everywhere in places of contest. However, what happens there? I focus on the territorial borders as they produce the most tangible artifacts. Borders form barriers, and barriers create artifacts. Artifacts produce responses. So definition of terminologies and hierarchies are extracted from diagram as such. And using a 5-tier border severity scale by the materiality of the border barriers, and classify borders globally by material of the barrier, mapping their impact and relationship to geopolitical tensions. So here you see the border level 1, border level 2, which is control border level 3, which is birth border level 4, which is fence border, and border level 5, which is wall border. It's shocking to see only very handful countries do not have restricted borders. And this is a map that overlays border severity area. So the following is my response. I propose for a fictitious scenario, a script, where the 2 companies, the erectors and the transgressors, form their own companies. The scenario illustrates a story of the 2 companies' intention. The low strike 2 company represents the transgressors. Hyun-soo, the CEO of Wall Strike 2 Company, believes that no wall can stop movement until root cause of the transgression and movement is eradicated. People will continue to jump over the walls to find their means of survival. Considering border severity across different regions, you would need different tools to go over the walls. So Hyunsu's clients are the transgressors. And Kyunsu launches a product line which facilitates safe and efficient transgression, shipped globally in one package. Based on established border severity level, Hyunsu formed product criteria for transgression kits. Hyunsu organized the products by size, different volume of transgression, affordable by different groups, can be compensated. Key considerations were portability, risk of exposure, knowledge, and longevity of transgression. For the first product range, border severity level 2, control, he launches the following products. BS2A Visa ID cobbler and BS2B passport cobblers produce documents so that they can cross a control border where they might check the papers. For the second product range, border severity level 3, Earth, he launches the following products. BS3A is a deployable, foldable bridge that can cross a ditch as studied by University of Michigan. BS3B ditch transgressor is medium-scale intervention using actual market products from Sterling's Terra Cross that can be brought over via car, van, or pickup truck that can make vehicular crossing up to 50 feet. BS3C ditch transgressor is large-scale intervention using military field manual. He produces crossing solution using PVC pipes and wire with infantry vehicle or bulldozer that can make vehicular crossing that exceeds 50 feet. For the third product range, border severity level 4, fenced, he launches the following products. BS4A fence transgressor small. Zip ties can be efficient solutions to make a hole big enough to cross a fence if lower portion is unsecured or cut. BS4B fence transgressor medium and over the fence is tactical foldable ladders such as from Safari Led Hotel ladder that can be used to transgress fences over. It can be hand carry or backpack carryable. BS4C fence transgressor large is an explosive. The fences are often wired with mines and booby traps, which is what actually makes delayed. Bangalore torpedo is an effective solution. Here is the presented makeshift Bangalore torpedo using paper tubes and toilet paper and fireworks. For the fourth product range, border severity level 5, walled, he launches the following products. BS5 wall transgressors small and under, tactical foldable shovels. E-tools are part of many military standard supply, as was found in Republic of Korea Army. You can date under a wall, covertly operable. BS5D wall transgressor medium that goes through the wall using explosives. A product exists from tactical electronics that's named Date Crusher as ball perforating device. It means a ball in a wall big enough for someone to walk through the wall. BS5C fence transgressor large under. The Roberts Company's small mooring unit has been employed to make a long tunnel that is big enough for a person or car to probe through for efficient and long distance ball transgression. They can be all shipped in one package. The second company is the Wall Company. Daniel, the CEO of Wall Company, believes that good walls can make the wall at least a calm of peace. Continued transgression will only activate more opportunities of violence and raise tension. He believes that by rendering the border barriers productive, individual interests will align, stabilize conflicts, and lessen our not eradicate transgression. He wants to propose the different kinds of the walls, and en masse, he believes that he can build cheaper and better walls. So his clients are the erectors. And this is Daniel's product. A modular wall structure. It'll come as a wall module or slab module should the client wish to occupy the wall's negative space. They can aggregate as modules, and cheaper in mass, the more clients, but cheaper the cost. And they can expand however much they want. He concedes of borders as many different landscapes that serve beyond division. Walls and fences, of course, as thresholds, as infrastructure, as recreational and humanitarian overlap, industrial landscape, as agricultural and ecological landscape, and as an economic reason. As tensions rise and lower, and having infinite body options, clients can swap modules as they wish and as they understand their own complex. I had cataloged all the countries and territories based on border severity, and Daniel selected South Korea as his first application of his product. DMZ is offset by 2 kilometers from the MDL. and is restricted for military and authorized accessory. These buffer territories extend into the sea, and the land is riddled with mines that will take decades to demark. Hence, to make the borders productive, right on the border of MDL would allow maximum usage of land mass of the two nations, with shared ownership and aligned interests, while creating a barrier that is able to protect interests of the investors were with civilians inhabiting the space. Daniel selects three cities: JSA, Samgakjeon, and Gosong. JSA is a weirdly offset area where it is monitored by the UN. This ambiguity brings perilous condition that has historically proven to be problematic and cause high tension in the area. It serves as a meeting space, a rare crossing, and a barrier. By installing TWC's product, the tension would fizzle, for they do not face each other. Finally, return the land to each respective parties. The wall cuts through Panmunjom, where the special legal status one can cross NDL freely within the border. The wall swallows the Panmunjom, retaining its original function as a meeting space, while reducing friction and tension. JSA soldiers will no longer have to face the contentious place. Gosong often suffers from transgression due to its porous geography. It is also next to a body of water. South Korea is currently planning to develop an own oil field in the East Sea or Sea of Japan. This can be a hub for desalination, infrastructure, dam, and energy gathering, distributed between the two nations. Railroads to north and south can distribute the products made. DMZ is also known for its ecology, for it has been heavily restricted of access for 80 years now. Such landscape is not common, not just in Korea, but worldwide. DMZ tour is a popular tourist product for those reasons too. Hence, in the wilderness, one can have a restful break in their units, looking into the nature. The inhabitants will be assured to military conflict, but also surveilled in case a transgression happens. The wall changes height per module to the undulating terrain, and the wall gently touches the ground, using the pilotis created by the TWC module. DMZ can be reimagined as a fantastic getaway location and one of the best preserved natures around the world. But Daniel hasn't received any correspondence yet from the South Korean government because they're arguing over a recent internal political conflict regarding martial law state. They'll be kind of late. And this is the scene in which the customers of the polar companies and rat conflict is depicted in the purple scenario. In this section, we can see each company's product function. The wall surveils, the transgressors cross, the customers of blue walls occupy as desks that provide surveillance without the need to purchase high-tech, costly sensors. The transgressors transgress using different modules. Various scenes are depicted in detail. They become collapsed and interconnected and codependent in their existence. The relation as the division itself via cartography is violent, and the tools to mitigate them is violent, is bound to continue in relation of violence per Foucault. This is as far as the products that the two companies can cover. However, they will continue to escalate in tension, an infinite arms race, what if nothing but tools and walls. Climax will be eventually met, undepicted in Midrats. And we jump from the purple scene to the build to the climax to now green, which is the resolution. After the climatic events, borders became no longer relevant. As borders are irrelevant, the barriers are no longer significant either. Consequently, the wall is abandoned and repurposed, occupied by overgrown vegetation growing liberally. Birds are flocking, vegetation devoured by structure. As it decomposes, no longer significant of division, maybe it becomes a stable for animals where new beginnings may incubate.